Welcome back to the Vintage Model Railway, and a warm welcome in fact to 200, almost 200 subscribers. 199 when I last looked. They're all very welcome. Now, with a lot of change here of course since you were last visiting. We've gone to a 2-track, and that's a Wren Sir Nigel Gresley 2-track, 2-rail. And we'll be running 2-rail for some time, but we have other plans in mind for 3-rail. They're trying teak coaches, which I rather like the look of, and they run nicely. We're heading round now to West Kennet station, and it's a single track, and just waiting there is a Pullman electric. Over in the distance, the station itself is a resin cast model by Bachmann, and that's of Highley Station, which can be found on the Severn Valley Railway. There's a Metcalfe twin track engine shed, recently made that, and you can see the tunnel over there, and awaiting, that's the shuttle from Pewsey Station, and that is the Hornby Great Western Rail car. Coming round in this Scenic section here, you can see that's much the same as it was when you were here last. We've got the cows down there grazing, just been let out, and the sheep, of course, as I often see them doing, all bunching together. And the Scenic section, I'm not quite sure what to do about the track, whether I ballast it or not, because having taken up all the other track from the other railway, which was all ballasted, it was a very difficult job to try and save any of the track. So I'm not sure about ballasting. This Pico set track is rather nice. I'm actually holding it down with some very small screws, which I got off eBay by a chap called Buddha Necklaces. I will put a link in the description if you're interested. Now this is Dauncey, and that's the canal at Dauncey, and that's the unloading shed, and a small locomotive, a little terrier waiting there. There's the canal barge, and you can see in the next station, well, that's the a derelict building, as it's called, by Metcalfe. Lovely little building to build. They're all lovely to build, of course, Metcalfe kits. I like them very much. We've got Southern Railway Maunsell carriages in the station there, in the passing loop that is, and it's being hauled by, I'm not quite sure what it is. Until we get round there, you'll be able to tell anyway. I'm sure you know your locomotives, Southern Railway locomotives, just as well as I do. I think it's a Lord Nelson actually, but anyway, we'll see when we get there. So that station there is that's Great Somerford, and the church over in the corner, that came off the other model railway, and that's an Airfix kit dating from a long way back, 1960s. So as you can see, a lot of work to do on the Scenic part. Backdrop there that just came off the other railway. I've got to incorporate that into the rest of the railway, of course. Just going to pass across the girder bridge. Broomfield Bridge as we know it. So yes, I have in mind that we're going to be running both this 2-rail, which will be permanent, and occasionally be running 3-rail, and the way I'm going to do that is by placing the 3rd rail system on top of the 2-rail. That part of the layout is very much being experimented with. I have tried it out, and it seems to work very well. Just need a bit of fiddling to make sure it's consistently capable of running the trains on top. But anyway, I'll show you that perhaps in a month or two. And but for the moment, we'll be running these 2-rail Hornby Dublo and Wren locomotives, and the Bachmann and Hornby locomotives, which we're just about to start to see one coming round now. Now we've got the 2-rail pickup apparatus, travelling post office. Had to buy a 2-rail version of that, of course, because the carriage was 3-rail. But that works well. And now we've got an electric set, the Sudden Electric multiple unit. That's a 4-coach set, which is what they used to run the area I was in, Alton area, which is north of Petersfield, north of Portsmouth. And this has got two powered units in, one at the back and one at the front on this set. And that's in olive green, the malts are olive green, which I particularly like the look of. And here we are, this is Sir Francis Drake again. And you'll see this is actually from an earlier piece of filming, and this was a couple of weeks ago. And since then I've done a few more changes. Got some work to do on the bridge there. I don't really like looking at the power connector when it goes past. So we've got a passing loop now, and the Pullman's in the passing loop over that side. Coming into the passing loop at Great Summerford. That's over Broomfield Bridge. Close up there. Lovely locomotives these.